Chennai means something different to everyone. To some, it's the warmth of home. To others, it's an emotion that never fades. And for the city's working class, it is a heartbeat, a rhythm, an inseparable part of who they are. Today, Chennai is a buzzing hub for startups, IT parks, co working spaces, and industries. Entrepreneurs from across India credit this city for its spirit of enterprise. But here's the thing, even the British once thought so. And their startup stands tall even today on Marina Beach.
I'm sure you're wondering what am I doing at the Vivekananda House, a monument Chennai is already familiar with. Most of us also know that this monument was called the Ice House during the colonial era. But trust me, there's a cool story behind how this monument is a pioneer to all the startups that are now ruling the city. So join me, let's freeze time and take a trip to the past.
It all began with an American entrepreneur named Frederick Tudor, famously called the Ice King. In the early 1800s, he had an audacious idea. Cut massive blocks of ice from the frozen lakes of Boston, pack them tightly in sawdust, and send them across the oceans to the tropics. It sounded impossible, but against all odds, Tudor's gamble worked. Soon his ships were carrying tons of ice across the Atlantic and into Asia.
Meanwhile, in Madras, the British were prepared for almost everything, tackling freedom fighters, public dissent, even mutiny. But what truly tested them was Chennai's unforgiving humidity. The British, being British, did not want to give up on their traditional layered colonial attire, and the heat was not settling down. That's when Tudor's this idea was a salvation for them.
Actually, his father, Frederick Tudor's father, first invented how to make ice, and how to keep intact this building constructed in 1842. Such a way they built, so using charcoal, all those insulators, so that it won't melt. There is pouches are there, some pouches are there. So those things are all actually is the insulators. Wall thickness of the wall is 5 feet. From 5 feet it goes slowly, it reduces. So below they used to store, and then we using so many charcoal and then hay, all those things, so that it won't melt. It will stay for long.
Back then, this entire building was seen as ahead of its time. It was more than just a storage depot. It was engineered to keep the ice intact against the blazing sun in Chennai. In many ways, the British and the American Ice King attempted innovation, a startup of a kind when the word did not even exist. Imagine a storage facility for ice against the blazing sun when refrigerators were not even a thing.
A similar type of building was built in 3 places. One is in Chennai, Madras, and Mumbai, and then Kolkata. So those two those two ice houses is no more now. The only existing ice houses, the existing building of ice houses, this is the only one.
But like all bold ideas, it couldn't last forever.
In 1842 they constructed. So his business was went up to 1886. So when they started manufacturing ice here itself, that business was stopped. So this building became unused.
In 1880, the building was sold to advocate Biligiri Iyengar, who renamed it Castle Kernan. Then in 1897 came its defining moment when Swami Vivekananda stayed here for 9 nights after returning from his famous Chicago address. His lectures inside these walls electrified Madras, and the Ice House was reborn as Vivekananda House.
Very few people, those who can understand about that engineering marvel, they show their interest about this building. And most of the general public, they think only this Swami Vivekananda state. These eyes, they usually only for their own personal use, Britishers used. This building was not built to serve the people. Naturally, it won't impact on the common man. Because this building became historical because Swami Vivekananda stayed in this building and he made impact on the general public those days, inspired people. That way, naturally, the Ice House has become Vivekananda House.
So the next time you sip a cold drink in Chennai's heat, think of this place. Long before today's tech parks and co-working hubs, ICE itself was Chennai's first cool startup, a daring venture that brought much needed relief to its residents. And when Swami Vivekananda stayed here, this building transformed from a colonial experiment into a spiritual landmark. From colonial enterprise to spiritual legacy, Vivekananda House remains as one of Chennai's iconic landmarks.